Alrighty then. I'm going to be talking about the Ozma double donkey disc and spending time on the Borderline vinyl pressing. Here's side A of double donkey disc, and then here is side B of double donkey disc with the donkey playing the Russian guitar. I'm not quite sure the actual name, but yeah, the Russian guitar. Here's Spending Time in the Borderline, side A, with the graphic from the CD on the original release from 2003, along with all the track titles. And then side B also has a graphic from the CD. The same graphic is used on the back of the actual vinyl cover. It also has all the track titles around the graphic. Alright, well here's the cover. It's pretty straightforward. It's just the same as the CD. Good quality, looks nice. Here's the back, just pretty simple track list of both the EPs. Little Enjoy the Rides logo, 2001, and then the Tetris design. Here's the Spending Time cover. It's nice, but when you look at it physically, it's not great quality. It could be better. It's not bad though. Alright, here's Spending Time's backside. Pretty similar to the little graphic on side B of that record. Track list, the producer, and then Enjoy the Rides logo. Alright, here's the insert for the double donkey disc. It's got the album's credits on it, everyone who does what, And then it has a long special thanks list. It's Rivers Cuomo, Carl Koch, or Koch, I don't know which. Goat Punishment, which I find funny, and then all of Weezer. And yeah, Yahoo, tons of stuff. Alright, here's the other side. You got Dan Brummel, and I'm assuming the producer. And then the drummer, whose name escapes me. Some donkeys, Jose, Star, and Ryan's drumming the guitar. Alright, now here's the insert for the Spending Time on the Borderline. I found this one to be a little better, just because it has the lyrics for each track and who the track was written by, as well as who played what instrument, as you can see here. And then now here are the album credits and the special thanks list. You still see Rivers Cuomo, Weezer, Ryan Schmedley-Maines, who played on the album 5 demos by Weezer. Here's the other side, pretty straightforward, just a picture of the band with this overlay on it. It's everyone. Alright, now I'm probably just going to give my general thoughts on each of the records. I'll start with Double Donkey Disc, put out in 2001. I used to consider this Ozma's best album, but I don't anymore. The strongest track for me is either probably The Landing of Yuri Gagarin or Continental Drift, Flight of the Booty Mademoiselle. That's a mouthful. Those two tracks are the best in my opinion. Just the Landing of Yuri, that's just got like the crazy vocals and like the kind of crescendo of guitars, just very emotional. Continental Drift is also very emotional in the outro, as all of Ozma's closers are. Ozma has really good closers, like Weezer. Re-listening to Double Donkey Disc, I found that the first half of the record is better than the second half. The Russian Cold Fusion EP, I prefer that to the Booty Traps EP. It just sort of flows better. It goes by a lot faster, in a good way though. Like, on the second half of the record, you get Maybe in an Alternate Dimension and Flight of the Booty Master. Both of those drag a little in my opinion. Whereas with the first half of the record, it just really carries. No One Needs to Know is quick. Even though it's 4 minutes long, it goes by pretty fast. And Kobarenki, traditional Russian folk song, that goes by fast. All the tracks go by fast on the first half. They just have really good momentum. This is probably Ozma's second best release, though. I still put it above Rock and Roll Part 3, and obviously way above Pasadena and Boomtown, two of Ozma's other records, which I really don't consider to be all that good. Alright, and that's about all I have to say about Double Donkey Disc, so now I'll start talking about Spending Time on the Borderline, Ozma's third album. Alright, Spending Time on the Borderline. I consider this to be Ozma's best record, despite some of the flaws it has. Came out in 2003 on Kung Fu Records, just like Double Donkey Disc, except that came out in 2001, obviously. Anyways, yeah, the issues I'm talking about, some of the tracks are kind of weak. Your Name is not great. Well, it sort of just kills the momentum that Spending Time sort of establishes. Come Home Andrea, not really a fan of that either. And Bad Dogs, also. Bad Dogs is a pretty bad track, objectively. I think it's a fun track, and I personally don't dislike it, but I think it's an awful song, like, in terms of just what is good. It is not a good song, although I do enjoy it. I wish they had substituted one of these songs for one of their demos, like Denise. Denise is a great song, in my opinion, and I think it would have fit the album better and just preserved the momentum that was started on the album by Spending Time. I think Your Name would have benefited greatly from just being moved. It shouldn't go near such an energetic track. It feels like a song that would be on the second half of the album, one of the deeper cuts, but for some reason they put it as track 2. And personally, I don't really know why. For the most part, though, the rest of the album is really good. Spending Time is great. Utsukushi Shibuya is a really good song. The English version and the Japanese version are both good. Turtleneck Cover Up and Game Over are two of Ozma's best songs, in my opinion. Curvin' the Old 1-9, that's alright. It's not great. Restart, also a really good, not energetic song. More of a slow burn, but it has a really good message. It's one of Ozma's deeper songs, in my opinion. Eponine. This is the superior version of Eponine. The version of Eponine on Pasadena, I don't know why they would re-record it, since this version is better. Wake Up, that's a really nice song. Good way to almost end the album. And then Light Years Will Burn. Like I said, Ozma has really good closers, like Weezer. And this is no exception. Light Years Will Burn is a really good song. It's a fitting end to a good album. My favorite track on this album, it's close between Game Over and Turtleneck Cover Up, but I'll probably give it to Turtleneck Cover Up just because Game Over is a little dorky with some of its video game references. I don't really mind it, but it's a little silly. Whereas Turtleneck Cover Up is more about, I don't want to say deeper things, but I don't know. So the lyrics are better. But both songs are really good, in my opinion. Spending Time is probably my third favorite, since that's also just a great song. And this concludes a really crappy review of two records that came out in the early 2000s that very few people have heard of. Thanks for tuning in.